I could feel God's presence behind me, and all glory goes to Him.
God wills it. AJ Blueball last night, 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. God wills it! Well, I'm just saying. Jeremy Booth's in studio right now. This show can at times seem sacrilegious, but no, I can't explain a lot of what's going on good for the Astros right now, specifically that they throw random starters in there and they have great performances. AJ Blueball threw 98. Jeremy Booth, Houston Astros front office insider, on the gun last night in Miami. 98 miles per hour. You're not impressed? That don't impress you much?
I just want to know when Lance McCullers is coming back.
Well, it's not going to be for a while. You know what? Jeremy, what the hell, man? I mean, it's been a while since I've seen you in studio, and you're coming right in here, and you're killing the vibes. The vibes are back. They won 2 in a row.
I'm not killing any vibes. It's a
Winning
fair
streak.
question. Okay? It's a fair question because we talked about, him being a starter. We talked about when he was going to start, what he was going to start, how that was going to play out. Seems to be right on par.
Do they need him?
They need everything they can get right now. But they don't need him as a starter. They need him as a
reliever. Okay.
Right? Because they need some relief, I guess is where I'm going with this. They need some relief. They've got it's an interesting club. I was fortunate enough. I say fortunate because it was good to see Correa back in the Astro uniform. That I will tell you. Mm-hmm. And I saw them in Boston.
You were in Boston.
I was in Boston. The pieces are there. Pieces are there to make a run, like a real run, not just win the West, but get into deep into the postseason. Whether they win the World Series, there's a lot more to that than just having the talent. But the pieces are there to do that. Mm-hmm. I said before, and I'm going to say it again today, that the front office, Jim Crane, and anybody else that was involved with Dana and these acquisitions of Jesus Sanchez and Julio Urias and Carlos Correa did a great job. They really did. They shored up some injury issues. They shored up some depth. In Boston, I saw Dubon. Just the versatility, right? Dubon, Urias, Correa, Sanchez, they all played.
Yeah.
And you look at roles when Myers comes back and you look at what they're going to do as far as what the depth chart might be, and you start feeling pretty good about the lineup, provided the medical staff is telling the truth.
What an if.
Yeah, no, it's an if. It really is. It's an if.
Big word, 2 letters.
Pitching wise, if the results that we've got of the durability of Javier, and I'm working around back to what we've seen in Miami. If the durability of Javier, the buildup is on the normal track for the Astros and how they do things, it's a positive step. You probably see him in a couple more outings.
For what it's worth, he hit 93.8 on the gun last night, and that's about close to where he normally is at. So that's a pretty promising sign.
Yeah. The velocity when they pitch after surgery like that is usually better, and it settles because of the strength rehab they do.
Gotcha.
The concern is going to be delivery, execution, feel, things that come from just not pitching, right? And if he's starting to have that, and the Astros, they have done a good job of developing pitching as a whole, keeping them on the mound, maybe another story, but developing pitching. If they're doing the right thing and he's following that track, you feel good about his return in about 10 days. 2 weeks, okay? If that's the case, you look at Alvarez's return, and it's probably 10 days to 2 weeks out. Again, medical staff to be believed, okay? And you have Arrighetti who's back, okay? That gives them a pretty good position compared to the rest of the West. Now, I like what Seattle did. I do. I mean, they added Suarez, they added Naylor on the surface. They just got there. Still more time to play. The Rangers are the Rangers. They added some pitching. They fortified something that was a strength. But overall, the guys that are throwing 98 miles an hour are great. If you're throwing 88 miles an hour, also great. Are you winning games? Because this time of year, I don't think anybody cares as long as they're winning games. And if you're losing against Boston, which was ugly.
It was.
It was bad.
It was listless. It didn't look great.
So Jason and I, Bristol and I were there, and I said
KHOU.
Jason, he said, what do you got? And I said, the energy's flat. He goes and asks Joe, and Joe says, no, we're fine. There's no energy. Anybody who's watching the game knows they were listless. That's a great word. They were flat, and they weren't playing with any kind of urgency. They go to Miami. It's Miami.
Right? They're having the time of their lives.
They're whooping them up.
I mean,
right?
because the Marlins, for what it's worth, Jeremy Booth, our Houston Astros front office insider in studio with us. For what it's worth, the Marlins have played the best stretch of baseball they've ever played as a franchise in 30 years over the last 40 games or so. So they did run into a hot team, And for whatever reason, when they go up against the National League, they do very well.
Yeah.
It's weird. They're 27-14 against the National League this year. It's a weird anomaly, I think, but it is noteworthy because it's tops in baseball.
It bodes well for the World Series. Should they get there?
I mean, yes.
But they
Dodgers,
still have to
Cubs,
run
Phillies.
They still have to run through the American League,
which is a gauntlet at this moment in time. And of course, the Mariners, they get Eugenio Suarez at the deadline, and the Rangers are at least handling the New York Yankees. They beat them again last night. So just to bring it back to the trade deadline, you mentioned some of the names. I keep on butchering his name too. Ramon Urias.
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Julio's a pitcher.
I said Hector. I don't know why. The first time I saw it, and I kept on saying Hector the first day. Jesus Sanchez has been awesome and
good.
very fun since joining. And of course, they bring in Correa. So how would you grade the deadline? Because from what I understand, and you know the minors a lot better than I do, it didn't seem like they gave up much to get any of these guys. And I was surprised by that because I was of the assumption that maybe they would have to part ways with something to get a Correa, even if Correa is not playing like Correa used to anymore in Minnesota.
Well, the Correa deal doesn't surprise me. That's about right. Okay, and the reason why is because the Twins are up for sale.
And
so
$450 in debt,
right?
millions.
So getting that contract off the books is the trade, right? Even if it's $20 million a year they got off the books, that's the trade. It also puts it back in Jim Crane's price range, right? It gives him Correa the time to build out the next few years and to see if he's worth the option years for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The other deals, to Miami's going to go get prospects. What prospects they're going to get? Again, it's about moving big league payroll, and sometimes at the deadline, that's the driving force. That's the trade. Take this guy, get the money off my books. We're trying to do this and give me these players back. So for who they moved the players to and where they got them from, that's about right. Did Urias come from Miami too? Baltimore.
Who's also in the midst of a bad year.
Yeah, so same deal.
So surprising. They used to be so good. Now,
yeah, that's another topic for another show.
Yeah, okay.
But right now, as far as moving those guys to Houston, Dana did what he's supposed to do. He's a buyer.
Mm-hmm.
He bought, and the way he bought was Jim Crane's style. I'll take your money. I'm not going to take all of it, but I'll take your problem for you. You take this. And they did. So it was an A deadline. I'll give him an A.
All right. I like that.
It was an A deadline. And and if I'm a Houston Astro fan, which, in this business, you can't be a fan. You have to be objective, right? You can root for the hometown team. You can pull for them quietly, and you can want them to do well for a lot of reasons for the city.
I'm a straight cheerleader, but then again, I'm also a baseball casual.
But I got to, from my perspective, I have to be honest, as do you. And so we tell the truth.
You be bad cop, I'll be good cop.
I can live the bad cop role. Yeah, we can do that. But you do that in a way because you want to be objective when you talk to people. At least me. When I talk to these guys, I got to be objective. I can't torch them if they're doing a bad job and not be positive doing a good job. So I say this, it's an A. I think this front office has done a good job. I think the medical staff is the only real hole in this organization right now. They're pointed the right direction. And if I'm part of the Houston Astros today, I feel really good about me. I feel really good about the people that are around me. Mm-hmm. And again, Southside looking in, and the balance are starting to strike. I think Joe Espada is doing a better job. I think a year ago, he did a terrible job. I just do. I don't think hitting Bregman in that spot with what we saw out of him was good. I think they cost themselves a deep postseason run by insisting on that approach. This year, you've seen him take a bunch of 4A guys and get the best out of them. And that's a really positive thing for this club and for Joe's maturation as a manager because that's a skill set. Not everybody can do that.
And Dana Brown, too, for his part, I think just making some of the decisions in conjunction with Joe and some of the guys that they have been able to find in the minor league system, put them in spot duty, and they've actually been successful. I think Dana deserves a lot of credit for it, too. I like the brain trust right now to what you're saying. Yes, it's the medical staff all season long. It's driving us all crazy. Jeremy Booth is our Houston Astros front office insider. I'm Paul Gallant. It is the Paul Gallant Show, ESPN 97.5, 92.5 on YouTube at ESPN Houston, Twitch at ESPN 975. Also on the brand new ESPN Houston app. So, against the Red Sox, listless. 2 games in Miami, looking good. Big series in the Bronx coming up this weekend against a Yankees team that has no list at all. I mean, the Yankees, I feel like you could kill the Yankees theoretically this weekend with how poorly they're playing with a sweep in particular. And we'll see what they do against Texas to wrap up that 3-game series today. How do they catch whatever it's been these last 2 games offensively as firing a ball? Because I've been looking, Jeremy, at the stats for some of the Astros players and how they've done over the last month. Christian Walker trending way up. Yainer Diaz trending up. That home run he hit last night. Good God. Correa's been a lot better with the Astros, limited sample size since he joined from the Twins. Jesus Sanchez, I'm very excited about. He just seems like a fun player, but also a little bit of a goofball out there, but making some nice plays himself. You got a home run from Altuve last night. It feels like a lot of guys are actually trending in the right direction, which is funny to say because, where we were after the Boston series, it was like it completely ruined all the excitement about getting Carlos Correa back in the trade deadline. So how do you keep this and maintain it going forward? It's obviously baseball and there's 162 games.
So, we've just go back to some past conversations. We've talked about your point you made previously was the weakest schedule second half of the year. Okay. And a point I made previously was they had a still bad stretch of baseball in there. Right,
and it's been a bad stretch for a bit.
Stretch. So they've got both, right, and they're mitigating each other. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you've got a group of 4A guys that were carrying this team for 30 days or so. Mm-hmm. You've got a weak schedule, the weakest in baseball, the second half of the way, and you've got a bad stretch of we are terrible for this moment in time that always shows up for somebody. Every team goes through it, and they just hadn't had it yet. They're having it right now, and they're getting out of it right now.
Right now, they're scheduled the rest of the way. Get this, 24th in baseball. You know who's got an easier schedule?
Rangers?
Mariners, 26th.
Oh, boy, that's going to be good.
Yep.
So tying those things together and having that mitigate, you didn't lose any – I mean, you kind of did, but not really. You're still in first place, and you didn't gain any ground. You just kind of balanced it. You were terrible. Schedule was terrible. Everybody was terrible. It was just a terrible time. Going forward, in Boston, what looked to me like a group of guys that had no energy, it still looked like a group of guys trying to figure out how to play together. And one of my big concerns is what happens when Alvarez comes back, because we have seen how this offense will stop at times when Alvarez is in it, no one else hits. Like, oh, yeah, you're here. You got it. You got 9 home runs today, right? Everybody else, we're just going to go ahead and bunt. We're going to take our swing and miss and take our time off. And if they can move the lineup forward and it's put together, which on the surface – I would have Altuve 1 and Pena 2. I know they're not going to do it, so they go the other way. It's Pena Altuve. I don't really care. 1 and 2 is fine. Then you got to figure out who hits third. Is it Alvarez? Mm-hmm. Probably. Is it Correa 4? Probably. Is it Walker 5? Probably. After that, Diaz, you got a lot of right-handed bats in there, right? You got to put Sanchez in there. You got to figure out where Myers is going to fit. So if you can put it together in a way that maximizes speed, stays out of the double play, and constructs runs, gets guys pitches to hit, it might be the best lineup in the American League right now. Might be.
Wow.
Might be. Now, Seattle's got a good one, but when you look at how guys feed off each other, it has a chance to be the best performing lineup. Maybe not the best lineup on paper, but the best performing lineup in the league. Look at the rotation here. Hunter Brown. They didn't get Verlander. They should have. No Verlander. They didn't bring Verlander.
That would have been so funny to get Verlander, bring back Presley, who's available now. Maldonado's available now, too. Just saying.
Yeah. So you got Hunter Brown. You've got Arrighetti plugging back in. You've got Valdez, who, even though he got beat in Boston, was 96 with a sinker. His just command wasn't great. You've got 3 guys at the front, or at least in let's call it 2 to 4, or 1, 2, and 4 that you feel good about. Okay. If you get any other kind of help to shorten the back end, that's where Lance McCullers can come into play. He can show up and throw an inning every third day, right? If you can do all of those things, you have a lineup that's built, and a rotation that's built for the postseason. And I don't know that I look around the league and I see anybody else besides Seattle, the league, I'm saying, that's really built for the postseason that way. Boston's going to be better than I thought, man. They have a tough roster construction, and Craig Breslow is getting crushed in the media, and they're winning.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic because I think they're deservedly being crushed. They got rid of Devers. They have a lot of money open, and it seems like all that money, because that group also owns Liverpool. Right. It's all going to Liverpool.
It's all going there.
Right, but they are winning, and I mean, it is funny how a 3-game sample size or a 2-game sample size can really invigorate a team or a fan base so quickly. You're right. The Red Sox have been an interesting one this season for a lot of different reasons, whether it's the random moments where people are getting mad at them over thinking Alex Cora is doing something nefarious, because that's happened 3 times this year against the Reds, against the Angels, against the Astros now too.
Is it 8 teams that make the playoffs now? It feels like it's 8, like NBA style.
It's yes, it's 12. I think it's 3 division winners, 3 wild cards,
and a play-in game.
There's it's hard to explain, but there's the 2 play-in. There's like the wild card series where the worst division winner and 3 wild card teams play one another, and it's a best of 3 game series.
Yeah.
And the 1 and the 2 seeds have a bye. So it's like the NFL used to be, where it's 12 teams making it.
Yeah. It's
But more teams can make it, and the less owners have to be. Owners don't have to be as competitive, which is already a problem in baseball because there's so many pussyfooting owners out there.
It's causing havoc for me. I mean, it's because I'm trying to schedule my stuff, right, and I can't get to it because I got 97 teams in the playoffs. Like they're all have a chance.
Yeah.
But if you start it tomorrow, the teams that I would think that have the best chance to make a playoff run are largely the ones that are in position. You got Toronto and Boston. You've got Houston and Seattle. And you've got who's in the Central? Because the Twins are out, Guardians are out.
It's the Tigers who are running away with
Tigers are running, and then the Royals are potentially fighting for a
They're
wild
hanging
card
around,
spot.
yes.
Yeah. So,
but it's a very competitive American League right now. There's like 9 teams that are hanging around.
That's right.
And you could believe them potentially being in the playoffs.
and the Rangers and the Royals would be fighting for that last spot, right? And there's somebody else in there I'm missing.
the Guardians and the Royals right now are neck and neck for distant second in the Central. Yeah,
So
Astros,
it's
Mariners, Rangers.
3 deep on each side.
And Blue Jays, Red Sox, Yankees.
Okay, so it's 3 deep on each side. So there's 9 clubs, like you just said, that have a chance. There's 6 you feel really good about, and the other 3 have to fight it out. Okay? The Astros stack up as good as anybody else in the AL in a postseason. They just have to get there.
And they have to be healthy.
That's another topic.
The training staff.
I don't know. I mean, and then back to the original question was, do they need McCullers? Yeah. Because they need all hands on deck for that. You need to have Lance McCullers in a 1-inning role. I'll say it again. Lance, I've been saying this to you forever, or at least around you forever. 1-inning role every third day at this point in your career helps this club win a World Series. What's more important, helping this club win a World Series or pitching every 5th day in a rotation when you can't stay on the mound? I don't understand at this point why we're doing it. I get when he comes up and he's searching for those big contracts because starters get paid more. Hey, I want to be a starter. I get it. I'm a starter. I get it. My free agent year, I'm a starter. I get it. You're not, but I get it. Now, you want to be a winner.
Right.
And you want to get your butt back into the end of the bullpen, and you want to help set up Josh Hader, or you want to throw the breaking balls 1,000,000 times, and you want to get guys out. For me, when I see clubs that have a chance to win, a real chance to win, because it changes a city when people win, man. We've been around them when they win and when they don't. The entire city's in a different attitude when clubs win. Everybody's miserable. Think about where you grew up for a second in Boston, in the Northeast, okay? When people lose up there, city dies.
You're a loser.
It's terrible. And down here, the Astros faithful got a taste of it for a decade. And there is no going backwards to not being good anymore. You're here now.
If they go back to it, I will stop watching.
It's not going to happen. So if you have that and you have a chance to win a World Series, you have to focus on going after that World Series. Dana and Jim and even Joe are doing the right things to get there. Everybody they've got to win a World Series, all 26 guys and even the guys on the taxi squad, even Chaz McCormick is going to come up at some point, and they're going to matter to win a World Series. When? I don't know, but they're going to matter.
Houston Astros front office insider Jeremy Booth with me in studio. Paul Galancho, ESPN 97.5, 92.5. A couple of updates courtesy of Dana Brown today. He was asked about a couple of different guys who are banged up. Does seem to be optimistic about Yordan Alvarez. Also seems rather optimistic about Jake Myers. With Dana, he's optimistic about a lot of different things. I did think it was rather interesting that as far as optimism goes, he did not seem particularly optimistic about Isaac Paredes, who was not going to have season-ending surgery, which might have a 6-month recovery. He's getting a PRP injection. When asked about Lance McCullers, he said he's going to throw one more side, then we'll send him out for a rehab. So he could be very far away with that blister injury that he is dealing with at this moment in time. But when it came to some of the guys who are about to come back, we're going to.
Are you kidding me? Go ahead.
When you can say it if you want. I'm just saying what Dana Brown told us. Spencer Arrighetti is back today. Excited to see that. Brown said he's going to go up to 80 pitches or so. Christian Javier is around 94, 95 with the velocity. One more start in the minors, and he'll be back.
Yep.
So you got 2 guys coming back to the rotation.
It tracks.
And he mentioned Luis Garcia, who is 2 starts behind him. Okay, you can get Luis Garcia by September. Awesome. That's the timeline based off of what he is saying right there.
That's your 5th guy, by the way, when he comes back.
I agree with you because the last time we saw Garcia, and it was right before he got hurt, he had that one start where it seemed like he was affected by the pitch clock changes.
That's right.
And then the next 2 starts after that, he was great. Like, he really was. It seemed like, and again, adjustments happen, and he's probably going to be rusty at first coming back. But I'm with you on that front.
So we're looking at a 4-man of
a 4-man that you trust.
Brown, Valdez, Arrighetti, Javier.
Or Javier Arrighetti. Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Who am I missing? Who's in there right now that I'm missing?
I mean, just Colton Gordon,
right.
and AJ Blueball, and it's just all sorts of randos who have been great.
Go back to the pen, and you have a longer bullpen where these guys come out after 4 innings. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Next set, these guys come out after 5 innings, and it's the next 4 guys that come up. That can win in the postseason because what you do in the postseason, you get 2 times through the lineup in the postseason, not 162. 2 times in the lineup in the postseason, and it's fire. It is, let's go throw as hard as we can by you. Let's go wrinkle this in a little bit. Even if you did it for 4 innings, right? Because you should have the arms to be able to stack it up with the off days and the time. If you have a bullpen that can do that and you take a starter and put him back there as a swing guy, you're in position to win. And that's why I like the Astros because, believe it or not, the injuries are going to help them as these guys come back in those roles. They're going to help them there. So I haven't been this excited about a club that they've had, believe it or not, even since 2019, because they should have won that against the Nationals, right? That was an analytical error. In 21, they were good. They weren't good enough. They just weren't healthy and they weren't ready to go. And in 22, even though they won it in 22 against the Phillies, it just felt like the Phillies were beaten mentally at that time. It wasn't so much a talent win. They're good. It wasn't so much a talent win. This feels like a rebuilding of the organization to bring guys in. It's a different set of guys, a little bit of old and new. It's a new front office team, and nothing taken away from James Click, who I think is a really good person. I like James a lot away from the game. I like him at the game. But James Click had Lunau's team. He did a great job of steering the ship and keeping it together. This is Dana's club. This is Dana's club, and it's Jim Crane's club because the pieces have gone away and they've come back, and you've added players that none of us were talking about a month and a half ago. Were any of us talking about Jesus Sanchez being here as an outfielder? Nobody. We looked at different places they could add, and we're thinking about the medical staff and the health and Alvarez, and all of a sudden, they did their job. When a club does that, they deserve all the support in the world, and this is the first time in a long time I've been able to say this is a fun group to pull for.
I love it.
For him. Yeah, it's fun, and I'm proud of.
Start off as a bad cop, end up a good cop.
It's
turn into a life of crime.
When people do good things in this game, it is really energizing for somebody like me who believes in what those wins do for the city, because the city is going to sit here and go, "We're Astros or we're not," and I watch these fans live and die with it. And it's really hard when the club doesn't give their best foot forward to watch fans fall apart with it.
I want to be able to watch without feeling the need to get a $300 El Tiempo
That is
margarita
correct.
in the ballpark.
That'd be great.
Jeremy Booth, Future Star Series. What's going on?
Well, we just finished a 3.5 week run of every day here in Houston. That was really awesome. It was good for the city. Thank you to San Jack and Episcopal in the Baytown schools and Houston Christian and all the people that had us. We've had a lot of players come through here. It was a good situation. There's a lot of advancement, a lot of development, a lot of growth. And I'm pumped up, man. I'm pumped up to see where this goes. I'm pumped up to be back here in Houston. It was good for the city economic impact. It was good for the kids. Thank you to all the coverage that we had. KHOU, you guys, we talked about it, and obviously some of the other
Fox 26,
Fox 26, and even the KPRC came out. So
nice.
Thank you for them too. It's good to be home.
Awesome.
It's good to be back home, and we look forward to a much deeper relationship with my companies and the city of Houston. And it felt good for the first time, and no offense to anybody else, but it felt really good for the first time in about 5 years.
That's awesome. I'm really happy for you, man. And I know you've been putting so much work into this, traveling all over the country for it, but it's very cool and what you guys are doing for amateur baseball players. And FutureStarSeries.com for more information.